Hey, what's going on YouTube? Jay here with Low Code, where code is optional, but results are not. And today we have a fun one. Today we're going to be building an invite-only application where you have to have an invitation code to sign up. Now, this suggestion actually comes from a member in our paid community named Peter, which says, invite-only app, new app that works on invite-only to begin with. Each new user gets a certain number of invites they can email to their friends to invite them to the app, and new users can only sign up from invitation link or invite link. So today I'm going to show you how I went about doing that. And if you actually want access to the deep dive where I go and show you actually, well, more of what actually goes into this, or you want access to the actual code, you do have to become a member of our paid community, which will be the first link in the description. Just go ahead and sign up and you would get access to everything like that. But today we're going to go over everything that I built. I'm not going to be building it here with you, one, because it's for community only members, but for two, it would take a really long time. So I'm just going to show you everything that I built and kind of went about things. And what I want you to do is just kind of, if you want something similar, just take the strategy, take the method, I guess, and then adapt it to your actual application. Don't just copy everything that I have here because it probably won't work for your use case. All right. So getting started here in Nordcraft, what we have is I'm just doing this all on the homepage just because I wanted to keep things simple. But by default, we're just showing this "you're not invited to use the application" sort of screen, as you can see here. We have a few other things like this card as well. Now, this card will only show if you are authenticated. So this is what you would use to invite new users. And then we have one more card, and that's for claiming the invitation. Now, you know how to build forms, hopefully. So the way that I'm going about this is we're checking for the invitation code to be in the URL as a parameter. So you see here, I have sorry, I meant a query, but here I have a query and it is for invitation. And if this is set, then the claim invitation card is going to show. I can demonstrate that right now. If I just press 1 in here, we can see that the claim invitation is going to show if that is set. But if not, and you are not authenticated, it's going to show this. But if you are authenticated, then you can invite your users like so. Okay. Now, on the right side, we just have a few variables for handling a few things. Again, this is just because I was doing this all on one page. So don't copy this, but just for simplicity's sake. So we just have an authorized that's just being used off of the get user that's being set. If that is successful, it's also being set if claim invitation is a success. We're also setting authorized to true there. Okay, then we have email and password for the two other forms, as you already saw. And then we have 3 APIs. So we have one that is a edge function called claim invitation. I'll show you this when we get into Supabase. But we have an edge function called claim invitation, in which we are passing a email password and we're just grabbing the invitation code from the query. Then we have a get user. This is just to check if we have a user. And then we're calling a RPC to create applications. So this is, sorry, to create invitations, sorry. So those are the 3 API calls we have, and I'm going to show you how we have them set up now in Supabase. So now over here in Supabase, we have an invitations table and we have a users table, and I will show you the edge function we have as well as the regular function that we have. So we have 4 things then, I guess. We have the 2 tables, and then we have the edge function to claim invitations, and then we have the RPC to create invitations. Okay. So here is the claim invitations. We can just look at the code really quickly. Here, we're just making sure that it is a post Then we're just checking to make sure that we have an email password and invitation code. Then here we are selecting that invitation, and we're going to make sure that the invitation or the email on the invitation is the email that was passed. And then we're making sure that the invitation is not expired. And then if everything is okay and you are the user and the invitation is not expired, then we're going to create a user. Then we're going to add the user to the users table that we created. And then after that, if anything goes bad, we're just deleting the user. Then the way I wanted this to work is that if it was a success and you are the person that the invitation was sent to, I just wanted you to sign in immediately. So we are signing in as the user, and then we're just going to basically send back the information as if you did the sign in yourself. So this way we're getting the session token and the refresh token and the expires and all that. All right. And now over here, we have this create invitation code here. So this is just making sure that you are authenticated, and it's also checking how many invitations you have, and just making sure that you haven't exceeded that, right? And then if you've exceeded that, then you're going to hit the invitation limit reached. Otherwise, it's going to create a random, I think it's it's 6 or 8 random characters for the invitation token. So that is the setup in Supabase, and I can show you the SQL code that created all this. Here it is right here. Again, if you actually want the code, you do have to become a member of the community to where you can have access to it. Otherwise, you just gotta kind of copy everything you see here. There you go. So now I'll go show you how it works. So let's come over here and let me see. Do I have an invitation? No, we're going to create an invitation for me. I'm going to do j@loadcode.com, and I'm just going to make the invitation code 1234567 8, and we will save that. And you can see we have it set automatically here to where it's going to be set to pending, and it's going to expire 7 days from the current date. So now over here in our application, for one, to even see an invite or the invite sort of form that we do have to have a query parameter called invitation, which I'll just set to 1. So you see right now, as long as we just have an invitation, I'm not really checking if it's a valid one here, but just as long as you have the invitation query parameter, then this will show. But you can see here, if I open this and I go to network, and I'll use the correct email or one that's valid, and we submit, we'll see that we get an invalid invitation token. So let's use the right invitation code. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll I'll enter the wrong email now. I'll do codes.com. There we go. And we will submit that. You see that we get the email does not match invitation. All right. So now see what happens if it is the correct information for both. I'll submit that. And now you'll see that this was a success and it returned our session with our access token and our token type. And then we just set the cookie. And now we can send invitations. Okay. So I'm going to refresh this I didn't have to actually. I could have just cleared the screen. But let's go ahead and send some invites. Actually, no, I'm thinking about it. I don't think I have this linked. I did not submit, and we want it to be the RPC. Okay, now let's give this a try. So let's do J. Can't type. What's going on here? That's my fault. Un momento, por favor. There we go. Okay. So let's do jc@riseware.com. We'll send that invitation. And we see this is triggering the RPC. We see success is true. We get the invitation ID as well as the token and the email information. So if we go back over here in Supabase and refresh we don't have to even refresh, but there you can see that is the new invitation for, did I put a 5 there? Apparently I did. I don't remember. But jc5@riseware.com and the token for that and who was the person that invited it, which matches with the authorization ID, like so. Okay, let's try this again. JC, I guess we'll do just regular one this time. Submit that. Okay, that one went through. Yeah, okay, now we're good. Yep, these have all gone through thus far. Now let's try one more. And there you see we get an error, invitation limit reached. Now, if I come over here, actually, I can go to users and I can increase my own invitation limit. Like say now, if I increase these to 6, and then we try this again for JC6. Submit that. See, that one goes through, but now we can't, again, submit any more. Like so. There we go. Cool. So now, let me just make sure that I'm logged out here. And we will do a invitation. Let's do the regular JC one. So this one right here. I'm going to do invitation equals that. Then we'll do jc@riseware.com. And we will do password. Do that. And then boom, there we go. Got accepted. And let's see, did it change? Okay, so for some reason, the pending stuff is not working, but you get the point. So yeah, there we go. So if you learned anything from this video, if you found this video helpful, do me a solid, like this video, subscribe for more content, and ladies and gentlemen, until next time, my name is Jay. Happy building.